Hey everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Today, we're diving into something huge. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang recently sat down for a game-changing interview that laid out a vision for AI so audacious it makes most other tech forecasts look timid. In this episode, we're zeroing in on three explosive ideas that Huang shared. His jaw-dropping claim that NVIDIA will be the first $10 trillion company, the radical concept that competitors could give their chips away for free and still lose, and the secret weapon behind their dominance, a relentless annual innovation cycle. So, get ready, we're about to decode Jensen Huang's vision for the future of computing, and it's a future that's coming faster than any of us think. Huang kicked things off with a statement that sent shockwaves through the financial world. He said, and I quote, "I think NVIDIA will likely be the first $10 trillion company." Whoa, that sounds almost absurd, right? How can a company already worth trillions of dollars possibly grow that much more? And what's the logic backing up a claim that massive? Huang says to understand it, you have to stop thinking of NVIDIA as just a chip company. He recalculates the entire market size using a top-down approach. His logic goes like this. First, he starts with a massive number, $50 trillion. That's the part of the global economy driven by human intelligence, including all knowledge work, creativity, and services. Next, he argues that AI will massively augment this $50 trillion of economic output. He uses a simple example. Would you pay $10,000 a year for an AI service that doubles the productivity of your $100,000 a year employee? The answer is yes. He estimates this will create a new $10 trillion annual market for buying AI-generated intelligence services. But here's the critical step. That $10 trillion of intelligence isn't free. It has to be manufactured in AI factories. Huang assumes a 50% gross margin for these AI services, which means the other 50%, or a staggering $5 trillion per year, will be spent on building and operating the infrastructure needed to produce that intelligence. And that $5 trillion annual infrastructure market is the battlefield NVIDIA plans to dominate. If you can become the leader in a market that massive, a $10 trillion valuation suddenly sounds less like science fiction. All right, a $10 trillion vision is one thing, but what about the fierce competition from companies like Google, Amazon, and others building their own chips? This is where Huang dropped another bombshell. He claimed that competitors could literally price their chips at zero, and customers would still choose to buy an NVIDIA system. How could that possibly be true? Huang explained that it's not about the initial cost of the chip, it's about the total cost of operation, and more importantly, the opportunity cost. The single biggest bottleneck for building an AI factory today isn't silicon, it's energy. Let's say you have 1 gigawatt of power to run your data center. You have a choice. Use it to power a system that generates X amount of revenue, or an NVIDIA system that, thanks to its extreme efficiency, generates 30x that revenue. Even if the first system's chips were free, you'd be insane to give up that 30x revenue potential. The performance leap from their Hopper to their Blackwell system is 30 times. So as a customer, your choice is simple. Get a small discount on a competing chip or generate 30 times more income from the power you're already paying for. This explains NVIDIA's incredible pricing power. They aren't just selling a piece of hardware, they're selling economic output. If a massive operational advantage wasn't enough, Huang then revealed the strategic weapon that makes them so hard to catch, a relentless one-year product cycle. While competitors struggle to build a single chip to compete with NVIDIA's last generation, NVIDIA is already rolling out the next one. We went from Hopper to Blackwell in 2025, and he's already announced Rubin for 2026, Rubin Ultra for 2027, and Feynman for 2028. How do they move this fast? Huang calls it extreme co-design. His teams aren't just designing one chip, they're designing the entire AI factory. The GPU, the CPU, the networking chips, the switches, all at the same time as one unified system. This annual cadence does something else brilliant. It locks in the supply chain. Because NVIDIA provides a clear 3-year roadmap, suppliers like TSMC can confidently build out their manufacturing capacity specifically for NVIDIA. This squeezes out smaller competitors who can't provide that same level of long-term demand. So this isn't just about having the best technology, it's a strategic blitz that overwhelms the market with unmatched speed, scale, and a full-stack solution. All right. After breaking all that down, let's quickly recap the 3 core takeaways from Jensen Huang's interview. First, NVIDIA's $10 trillion ambition is based on a grand calculation of how AI will reshape the $50 trillion global intelligence economy. They are positioning themselves as the core builder of the $5 trillion annual infrastructure market that will power it. Second, NVIDIA's true competitive advantage isn't the price of their hardware, but the massive economic value their highly efficient systems create. This total cost of operation moat is so deep that even free competing chips may not be enough to win. And finally, their relentless 1-year innovation cycle is a strategic weapon. It keeps competitors perpetually playing catch-up, while NVIDIA allows to lock down the global supply chain for years to come. These aren't just business strategies. They are the blueprints for building the next era of civilization. We are witnessing the construction of the factories that will produce the most valuable commodity of the 21st century. Thanks for listening to this episode. We'll see you next time.